All right, we're now live. Skate Fillet podcast. Today is December 28th, Wednesday, 2016. Thank you for listening to Skate Fillet podcast, the best skateboard podcast in the world. I'm Griffio. This is Michael Medina and Angie Shanley. And today we're here to talk about skateboarding as always. So, I don't know. What do you want? We'll start with Chris Colbourn. He had a recruit.
Cookie.
Cookie Colbourn came out on Christmas Day. It was a good present to start off the morning.
I think everyone's stoked on Cookie.
Dude,
I don't think that there's anyone out there skating like him right now, and I think it's really cool that edit was able to portray that.
He's got quite the creativity.
And like creativity in like not a boring way. Like it was cool to see, like, just as an example, when he rode up the little bike rack and pivot and came back down, like that was fucking super
wild.
hard. Like what? But it's like, on like the smallest obstacle he randomly found, but it's like that's super hard.
I was pumped on the Primo slide.
Primo slide, nose manny, nollie flip. What the fuck?
But I like he nollied right onto the
Wally
manny pad.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think there was anyone watching that expected him to do a Primo slide nose manual nollie flip.
Dude, the second I watched it, I thought of Mike Peck.
Yeah, that was some seriously like
one of them.
Again, though, it's like back to what I was saying. It's like weird, but in like a cool way. Like it's not weird. Like this is fucking
he's got
weird.
really good. Well, it's like he has really good style and he does it proper. Like
yeah.
He rolls away with speed.
I also really liked the no slide ride back down
on the handrail.
Yeah, that was super cool, dude. Like
out of it.
Yeah, that like what?
And the back lip, drop back lip, the crook.
I also, you know what else I noticed is that he really likes dropping into walls. Like from a grind or from a flip trick. Like he likes going into a bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking hard. That stuff's not easy, man.
Yeah, he had a crazy recruit.
I think Chase did an amazing job filming it too. Like I felt like
he always does.
Well, I mean, I know Chase always does an amazing job, but I feel like some of the angles that he got on the tricks that Chris was doing were just fantastic. Like that, I don't know. I just really liked it. Not only were the tricks super unconventional, but I feel like some of the angles on the filming were super unconventional, but they went together so well.
Cookie Colbourn out here killing.
He's the truth. That slappy back Smith front 180 was so rad on the bank to white ledge.
Yeah, are we not going to talk about that the back lip, crooked grind on a curb?
Yeah, I just said it. Yeah, that was so sick.
What? What the hell is that all about?
Like when he dropped the back lip, I was like, what is he about to do?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to ollie from back lip to crook? That is wild.
I don't know. That was wild. I don't know. I'm stuck. That's got to be like the most memorable recruit that I can honestly. Oh, no, Jamie Foy's, right?
Yeah, he didn't know.
Front crook that big-ass rail.
And he did front crook, front feeble.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Honestly, dude, like those recruits are getting a little difficult for me to remember, and this one I feel like I'm not going to forget about just because of the creativity involved.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot.
I like that he's from, I always like that guys are from the East Coast too. I think that gives them a little bit of a different personality.
Why is that? Like in their skating or just in general?
I think in their skating and just in general too. I mean, like I read the interview with him too that Tom Rohr did on the Barracks, and I don't know, like I feel like you can just kind of get a little bit of a different personality out of guys that are coming from places that are a little more rough like that.
A little hard-nosed. Yeah, I could see that.
But I read an interview though, I swear, about him, and Grant, maybe that connected him with Illegal Civ somehow.
Yeah, he was in IC too.
That's right. Yeah, which is such a weird combination too, I feel like.
I mean, if you're a cool dude and you guys get along and you guys are skating together, it's not that like weird, I guess.
It's just a crew, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when IC was just like a crew, like they were making crew videos. Now it's like they're a brand and everything. So anything that you see with IC is now affiliated with their brand. So it's kind of a different,
It's interesting with the whole brand thing though, is like they have dudes still repping them that aren't actually on the team.
I mean, does that bum you out though? That's like it's almost similar to somebody throwing up a mafia symbol. Or like,
it doesn't bum me out at all. I mean, because they're still homies, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. It's like
right.
Nikel does a bunch of stuff for them, and obviously he's still going to skate for FA.
What do you think about those pink fucking high tops?
Amazing.
Colorway? I think it looks cool. That's
Yeah, my homie unboxed a pair yesterday, and we shot a little Instagram edit with them. He says they're super good.
I think it's cool that he wanted to switch it up because the last time he had the match court, and this one it's still called the match court, but like the RX without the toe cap.
I was just gonna say, but it doesn't have a toe cap. I didn't notice it until probably a half hour into the sesh. I was like, oh, your shoes don't have the toe cap on it. Like,
yeah, match court RX they called it, which is cool. He wanted to change it up, do his own thing. That's rad.
Yeah, that little rose on there is badass.
Yeah, the tongue looks sick.
Yeah.
And then actually, while we're on the Adidas topic, Majerus is getting a colorway for the Audi E's as well.
Good. Those are the best.
I think it's like a dark gray colorway.
I think that
Gray and navy.
Yeah, I think correct.
I think that not to try to cut Majerus off because he's amazing and definitely deserves his own pro model, let alone a colorway. But I think that by not Kelly using this other one that doesn't have the toe cap, it almost like differentiates his from the rest, sort of. Like it's almost more of a pro model, I guess, because it's not the toe cap version. It's like, you know, it's just there's this level of being different as opposed to the match core with another name on it in a different colorway.
Have you seen the new Miles colorway of the match courts?
No. He did a match court high?
No, they're lows.
Okay, I was gonna say I've never seen him even skate a high before.
No, he has new match court lows. I don't think they've dropped. Maybe I think the beginning of 2017 they dropped their all white leather, and next to the stripe it says Silvis and gold, and then the little eyelets for your shoelaces are gold.
That's badass.
Yeah, they're nice.
I mean, I back anything. I mean, I love Adidas. You know that.
Yeah, that's your dudes.
Dude, they're just those shoes are just better than the rest I've been wearing, man.
Yeah. So what should we talk about next? Oh, Buck Elastic had a video part.
Dude, that was Buck.
Yeah, you're psyched on that?
Dude, oh my god. Okay, the first thing I kept thinking about was like Bucky Elastic was one of like the 3 first names that I ever heard about in skateboarding in general. Like it was like Tony Hawk, you know, Steve Caballero, and Bucky Elastic. Like those are the dudes that like I knew before I knew skateboarding. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and like it's kind of funny. Like I was watching it with my friend, and like the first thing that came to mind was like, holy shit, like this could be my fucking dad. I kept thinking, like this guy's full on dad. He's got to be in like late 40s. Like it's got to be Tony Hawk's age. You know what I mean? So like this could be our dad. And I'm just like thinking like
that is funny to think about it like that. Like if
God damn, dude,
they're doing that.
Yeah, like he's getting fucked, dude. He's getting like the little like segue into like the backyard pool part. Like that pool is fucking gnarly, dude.
And he puts that rail up there, like back
what does he spray on it? Is he spraying an adhesive so he can grab his hand better, or is he spraying a lubricant so he can slide better? I really want to know. Somebody ask Bucky. I want to fucking know what he was spraying.
He did a lot of gnarly hand plants in that part.
What did he do? Nollie heel back tail and on a fucking vert ramp?
Oh, didn't he like nollie frontside flip over the channel too?
Yeah, like what? And he straight no compliant.
Yeah, straight no compliant. And I was like, what?
Like that's crazy. You know what was really cool is it made that nice smack noise too. Like yeah. Dude, Bucky's part was Buck. I'm just so glad that he just threw the switch McTwist in too.
Yeah.
Like who does that?
Yeah, that's heavy. What was it called? The bucket? Oh, bucket list, huh? That's
bucket list. Very cool name. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about. So, did you notice what was on his feet and he had stickers on his vert ramp?
What, Puma?
Puma. Like what is the story with these fuckers? Do they like skateboarding or not?
I feel like they probably just have him like as an ambassador, and I wonder if they do stuff with the, you know how he does like what's it called, the rally racing or whatever?
Yeah, he definitely does stuff with rally racing, but at the same time, is he wearing Pumas?
I wonder. Oh, I don't know, but I wonder if they just have a bunch of like stickers on his car and everything too, you know?
I mean, I'm having a hard time believing that like there's not some kind of shoe that he's wearing that's somewhat designed for skateboarding.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they skate. A lot of times it's just the regular Puma suedes or whatever. So, I mean,
I'm just curious because he had a giant sticker in his bowl, and he wore their shoes the entire time.
I'm sure he's getting a nice check.
That's what I'm saying. But then we're literally having Joey Brzezinski say the opposite, that they weren't paying people and that they don't care about skateboarding.
Well, he was saying, I mean, Joey was getting paid. They just didn't want to pay anyone else besides him and Bucky, pretty much.
Right, but that's my whole issue. Is like you're gonna have one
They
guy
just
who does
didn't-
manuals
they
and one fucking 50-year-old vert skater, and that's your whole skate program.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously they didn't want to jump all the way in.
Like you're not gonna pay
Um,
Paul Hart.
yeah, that's just
Are
stupid.
you
Hey,
fucking kidding me?
while we're on this topic, I don't know if you saw Diamond did a shoe with Puma.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it last week a little bit, where Joey threw that backhanded smack at him.
Oh yeah, sorry, that did happen last week. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
just made me think about it again. That Joey, he's been verbal about,
Not fucking with
his-
Puma.
that Puma doesn't want to back skating 100%. And I think, I mean, even from a brand's perspective, I feel like if they go 100%, they're gonna get stuff out of it. Like if you're barely like wishy-washy, then like
Yeah, for sure.
like you should just be straight to the point, be clear with everyone, and
I think Puma is rebuilding though. Like I think they definitely like I mean there was a time where Puma was huge, probably about 8 years ago. Puma was big. And then I think
you mean that they're
kind of-
rebuilding as a whole?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
just
gotcha.
the brand as a whole because you know like they're releasing like Rihanna has her own
I knew that was coming. I
shoes,
knew it was
and
coming.
she has her own slides and I think that they're definitely rebuilding and maybe even rebranding a little bit. So maybe as we see like that market open up for them, maybe we'll see a skateboarding market come back a little bit. I don't know. That's
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. For all we know that they have new owners, for all we know, like I don't know shit about Puma, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do. All I know is that what Joey told us, and that Bucky Lassick gets super buck, and he's getting paychecks.
and Joey, what was that? That was about a year ago, wasn't it? That he came out like
I don't know if it was that long
What was
ago.
he? What's he wearing now? DCs and shit.
He's been skating DCs, but he's working on a shoe with a different company. I don't know what it is. He's
and
not
fuck
he's
does that
been
mean?
using that for
because he was sampling. He was like posting photos of the shoe that had no logos on it, and like testing something out. And he was posting photos of it on Snapchat. And then when I saw him at the courthouse one day, he was skating them. I have no clue what they are.
What they look like?
I feel like they look like Pumas.
Of an audio shoe almost. Like it had
Mhm.
you know in shoes like not a rubber toe, like a regular toe cap on them.
Yeah.
It had that laces that went pretty far down. And there was, I'm sure, it was some sort of like technology type thing somewhere. Like
Well,
it looked like.
well, who do you think has money for technology, let alone Joey Brzezinski based manual technology?
I really don't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
And he's got to be able to put an insole in it.
He skates the Evan Smiths a lot.
Yeah, that's what I see is that he's been skating the Evan Smith shoes.
And I seen him chilling in Huffs one day, and that's really it.
Huffs are great. Excellent shoes.
So I don't know what he's gonna do. Well, you know what we're talking about, Joey. He did pretty much confirm the whole visual thing this week. I think it was on his Instagram story. He posted some boards with a visual sticker and said like graphics coming soon and tagged them. So the whole visual board company seems to be happening in the near future, and he'll be the pro for it apparently.
That's exciting. I'm hyped on it. I think. Did you see that his like wheel that Croupy or whatever? Like they put out a little edit to something very short.
Oh, what was it on Instagram or like yeah?
No, it was on Instagram just before like we were trying to.
Oh, really? No,
go live. Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that new wheel company, and then, he did. They like did the reopening. They like added those new mani pads at Stoner. On delay was a part of that.
Oh, I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, that's nice that they did that. That's rad.
I want to know more about On Delay. Like I've tried asking a couple of people because I've read it. Like I feel like Bones does an amazing job of like marketing and telling the history of their bearings and like what makes them stand out. But I feel like I don't know anything like that about On Delay other than they have really funny like cases. Like I mean, they have creative ideas.
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say
them.
I don't really. I don't know. I don't have some like a bearing company I'm like super psyched on, but I do like the packaging that On Delay has. Like that Guy Mariano one that comes with the wax
With the
pretty
hot
rad.
sauce. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
When we bought bearings last time for Titan, we bought the P-Rod On Delay golden $35 bearings. But I don't know if they
P-Rod's
make him
good.
skate any better.
All P-Rod needs is some gold wheels, then he'd be a whole setup gold.
Who's he ride for?
They
P-Rod?
do like primitive wheels, but
Oh.
skate spit.
Yeah.
I've seen him skate spits.
Oh, why? Because they're the best?
Probably. Like if you watch his,
Wait, man, what do you have on your
I
shirt?
mean, they are the best. That's not a probably, but he has a setup video online, and he says that he's skating Spitfire. So
He's on
I don't know.
Venture too, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So he's got a little deluxe plug.
Yeah, so they just toss it in his box.
Yeah, for sure.
But it doesn't. And Primitive makes their own bearings as well too.
Primitive probably makes their own everything. That would not surprise me one fucking bit. Primitive dudes are not stupid.
I was a little bit surprised, like the bearing thing, just because he's like a part owner of Rondelay, but
Yeah.
he's gonna do what he can.
Yeah, but he's also on Grizzly, correct?
Not anymore.
Okay, so he went Primitive grip full on.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's always got the Primitive grip now.
Yeah, because I was actually wondering that recently because I saw the Primitive grip and I'm like, because didn't he have a pro model Grizzly grip?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Like
Who
yeah,
doesn't?
because it was the goofy footed one.
How many?
Yeah, and it had like the Day of the Dead.
Oh, okay, that was
Cool.
his. Yeah. You're right.
I remember that. Yeah.
For sure. That's sick. I still like the B bowl one.
Oh, what B-Bowl? What is it like?
It's a B bowl. Like it's a bowl.
Oh
of-
yeah. I was wondering, why did you say it like that?
I don't know. It's fucking hilarious, dude. That makes me laugh.
Well, we'll talk about some other podcasts or shows that are in skateboarding. The 9 Club had Jack Curtin on this week.
Damn, I'd be lying if I said I didn't catch this one.
Oh,
didn't
I
get to
loved this one. I thought
All right,
Jack
Andy,
Curtin
go
was
ahead.
fantastic. I don't know. I just liked his stories and I liked the history. Like I like when you find out where guys came from and how they got to the point where they are now. I mean, I think it's super cool when they have other people like when they had Lil Wayne on and stuff. I like it, and I mean there isn't an episode of 9 Club that I don't enjoy, but I just think it's really cool when you get to hear somebody's full story.
So I remember him talking about the whole Indonesia, and he grew up there. But where was he born again?
He was born here, but his mom worked for, I think he was born like DC area.
Oh yeah,
Washington DC. And his mom worked for the government. So she like for family planning or something. So they traveled to all these different countries. So he lived in Africa. Like he grew up in Africa for a couple of years and they came back to the States. And I don't remember what country in Africa. I want to say Ethiopia, but I don't know if that's right. And so then they came back and they were here, like DC area, I think, again. And then back to another country in Africa. And then back. And then I think out to Indonesia. And I think he said he was there
skating.
from like 12 to 18. They lived in Indonesia.
Yeah. He started skating in Indonesia, which is something I had no clue. I didn't. I mean, I'm very familiar with Jack Curtin, but I didn't know deep into his childhood, you know. So I didn't know he's from Indonesia or that he lived there for a period of time. Yeah, there was great stories definitely in that. The funny thing was Roger noticed that his name isn't on the skate metal site, and they tried to call Brad, and then Mike, you'd love this. Brad FaceTimes him, and he's in a bubble bath.
That's amazing. I love it.
I really liked the other thing that I really like that they talk about all the time on the 9 Club, and maybe this makes me ridiculous, is I like how they bring up people's kids. Like a lot of these guys have kids, so I like how they bring that in, and the guys tell stories about having kids as well. And
the scooter thing.
I loved Jack Curtin's stories, and I mean it's so true. You know, like why just because his dad's a pro skater, why does he need to be skateboarding already when their little bodies are so not physically developed for it? But yeah, just the whole scooter story and how he ended up just throwing it away. And I don't know. I thought that part was really entertaining.
Yeah.
Well.
Jack, it was cool. I enjoyed they talked about Fallen for a second.
Mm-hmm. That whole story was really cool too.
That was interesting because I
forgot he was with them.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of a whole surprise. To me at least, or not a surprise, but just an interesting fit of him being on Fallen, because I feel like he just has a different vibe than the team did at that time. And I thought it was cool to hear him kind of say that, and then say that Jamie helped him move on because they didn't have the money to re-sign him. That was rad that Jamie did that for him and found another opportunity and helped him get on New Balance.
I thought
which
that
cool.
was cool too. And
yeah, I mean it's always good to hear when dudes look out for each other, so that's rad.
That we learned a little bit about like New Balance Numeric too, that they're, you know, it's ran by like a few skaters. And I think that people need to hear that too, because I think that not everybody's sold on New Balance being like a skate shoe yet.
I think like when Gary Rogers said it really good, like probably like a month ago on Skateline, like that it's just still sometimes weird to hear New Balance is in skateboarding.
Wasn't Cookie wearing them?
Yeah, he's sponsored
Cookie
by
gets
New
them now.
Balance.
Okay.
He was getting huffs for.
That's what see, because that's what I thought going into it. I
He was
could have
sitting on
sworn.
Flow for Huff for so long. So that's cool if New Balance is going to back him.
Cookie's sick.
I think that their shoe designs. I like a handful.
They look good. They really do.
Like all of them, but I like
the one. What's the one that PJ skates like the Stratford or whatever?
Yeah, Stratford.
It looks a lot like the Cossin one, the Nike Cossin one.
I was gonna say they look good, but they look like Nike. So it's like if you're into that whole like sporty, like really techie look, then they're for you. But like I'm personally, I'm more of like a really basic profile, just thin skate shoe. So that's like for me, it's like that's too much.
I don't know. Like
for me to wear, they look cool. I'd wear them. I wouldn't want to skate in them.
I've heard that they're really high quality skate shoes, though, just from like being around the skate plaza here, and just talking to different guys about them. Like some guys say they're like their most comfortable, most durable shoes they've had. Like they outlast almost anything. So I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
I wouldn't mind trying them. I just don't want to. The price tag is kind of heavy, isn't it? It's like $80, $90 shoes. It is,
which is shocking too. But I mean, if you look at New Balance athletic stuff too, it's
just hard for me to sit there and want to spend damn near $100 on a shoe that I'm literally designed to destroy.
That's funny, yeah. Well, before we move on, they mentioned the Skate Metal video, which is gonna they're planning on coming out with 2017. Which is cool because I mean,
Ted Plunkett, baby.
Yeah, I mean we've heard him talk about it, so that's rad. Hopefully, 2017 is the time for it to come out.
Plunkett's gonna shit.
Stacked. I think it was great to hear Jack talk about it. I mean, pretty much him, Tom.
Tom,
Dan, Trevor, Jake
Plunkett.
Anderson. Plunkett, Jake Anderson. Darkness,
Russian guy.
The Darkness.
Dude, that video is gonna be super good. I'm hyped for that.
What's
Shame, no.
Tom? Is it like Thomas?
Okay.
Karangelov.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom Karangelov. Yeah, Tom
Karangelov.
Instagram account. Super good.
Yeah, so that team's stacked. Hopefully, you got some stab-up footage, or at least him doing something.
Who's gonna have the Ender? Your boy?
Ender in that video?
Trevor, gotta be. Come on.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Probably Trevor, unless they're gonna give Darkness a board and.
No.
Oh, Trevor. Carson. Hey, we didn't mention Carson.
Oh, Carson. What the?
Oh, yeah.
What are we thinking?
You see what?
Israel King, dude.
Did you see his picture that he posted for Christmas? He was in like Christmas pajamas.
Awesome. That guy is so good.
Hey, have you seen the board that the graphic they made from where it's a screenshot of on Tinder of a girl holding his pro board?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Isn't it like his chick though, right?
I don't know. Honestly.
I think they're like dating now or some shit. I'm
no
pretty
way.
sure. Like I read like some random story that like he's dating that chick now.
I read an interview or something.
Yeah, totally. Okay, all right. I'm not crazy.
Well.
All right, I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that like that's his chick now.
When someone maybe when Skamono posted.
How rad is that story? What the fuck? You get on Tinder, you see a chick riding like with your deck, and then that's like your girlfriend now?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's like somebody who does. I think the girl skates now, but I don't know. Let me look it up.
Yeah. Anyway, it's hilarious. While we're talking about other shows, let's just talk about the Weekend Buzz. They had TK and D this week for like the part 2, and I think the question everyone was really waiting for was for TK to talk about what happened with Baker.
Oh, I loved it.
That came up pretty much. I mean, if you listen to it, you got the gist of it. There was just some frustration. He cooled off, and luckily enough, Baker let him back with open arms, and he's still obviously a part of Baker. But I mean, ever since the day that happened, I've been so curious of what it was, and it was footage related. Just about TK wanting to release footage quicker than Baker wanted to, and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have anything to say about that?
That my one little like sentimental thing for me about that is that happened the first night that I was on the Fillet.
Oh,
We talked
really?
about that. Yeah. Isn't that
Nice.
sweet? I just really liked his story about like how his grandma was like, you got to stop playing. Like
I
you
know
can't do
that's
that. Like you've got a wife and children. You can't just quit. And like how his wife would talk to him about it too. Like you can't do that. Like you can't
I
just
know that
quit.
was pretty funny.
I did um just a kind of an off-topic connection. Did you notice on the Nine Club they talked about Rob Brink's tramp stamp tattoo?
Oh
And that got brought up on the last Weekend Buzz too.
yeah.
I thought that that was kind of funny. They always talk about tattoos on the Nine Club too. I feel like,
Tattoos are a good way to. I mean, I feel like people. Oh, Mike's gone.
yeah,
Hope he comes back. Um, tattoos are always just. I feel like there's a lot of times there's funny stories
there's
behind
good
tattoos,
stories. Yeah,
especially with skateboarders. Like maybe they got it at Tampa Pro or something. You know, there's always something
you
funny.
can get those free ones at Tampa
Yeah,
Am.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Um,
so yeah, I mean, I was because I mean I remember right when the whole TK thing went down of him quitting on Instagram. Like I heard a lot of people and myself I was thinking about it too. Like was this just like something just to like get in the news kind of like funny thing like oh let's have you quit and then be back on the team.
But the story
But
that he
so it
told,
was. I mean,
yeah, the
it was
story that he
real.
told, they were like, "We know you, like we know this is just what you do."
Yeah,
Like
it was
Andrew
cool that they
Reynolds
backed
called
him
him
so
up,
hard
and
over all
yeah,
these years that they didn't even like. Because I mean, honestly, like no one could really blame them if they were like, nah, like over it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely,
but it's rad that they let him back and
yeah, and it sounds like it's just a great story to tell your kids someday.
yeah, yeah, it's a funny one. So that was cool. I was hyped that that question came up. Um, Ben Rayborn had an insane part getting a vert ramp on Thrasher that was filmed in one day.
Sorry, I didn't
Um,
watch it.
ah, dang it. Well, looks like I'm the only one to talk
I
about it.
have a hard time getting hyped on Ben Rayburn, and I know that
No
there's no
way.
like legitimate reason why. I just I don't I think when like well, I think King of the Road kind of did it for me a little bit the last season.
Mike,
I just
you watch,
wasn't into him.
Mike, you watch this new Rayborn part?
Yeah, of course I did.
What'd you
Are you
think?
serious?
Thank
Dude,
God
he's
you came
doing
back, Ben.
he's out there doing shit that no one is doing.
How's he
Like,
how's he launching into this vert ramp fakie? Like whatever that like
dude, I
tail
don't know
block
that
was
hit.
like on the I don't even know what that was.
The tail block thing that was like 3 feet into the
Like
fucking
yes,
top deck. What the
on the
fuck?
deck and then just bounced back in.
Yep. Yeah, dude, he skates like nobody else, man.
I saw a comment on the YouTube video saying like he's pretty much making this vert ramp look like he's just messing around on a mini ramp. And I was like, pretty much the perfect way to sum up that video.
He also does
It
like
looks
the
like he's just messing
switch
around,
hand
but
plant
it's
back
so
to
gnarly.
rags or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, the one where he just whipped it around. It was so heavy. Where he like twisted his wrist.
Regular. Yeah, I can't remember
That
if it
was
was Swisher.
so gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, the
Dude.
shit that he does in transition is fucking crazy. And like I skate with a few dudes who like skate kind of like that. Like they're
Mhm.
hesh as fuck. Like Joe Malazzo, just look him up. Go ahead, it's fucking gnarly. Like he does shit like that, and he could not stop talking about that tail block thing.
Yeah,
He's like, dude,
I don't get how you're just gonna launch into a vert ramp fakie like that. That is just ridiculous.
I don't know. I'll tell you right now, like kudos to Ben Rayborn. He is inspiring the heshers out there.
All filmed in one day too.
Yeah,
Dude,
on the same ramp.
It's so sick. How are you gonna get that much footage in one day?
Do not know.
Ridiculous. That was just ridiculous. All right, well, next we'll talk about Zero. There's two things we need to talk about Zero. We'll start out with the Jamie Thomas Jenkum interview. Because via Garage Days collection, I believe, Jamie sold Forrest Edwards Pro board that was never actually released to shops.
That had his name misspelled on it.
Yeah, his name was misspelled. Because they pretty much pulled a plug on the whole Forrest thing right before the board came out. So yeah, they sold him on Garage Days collection. They gave Forrest money, obviously, because his name's on the board.
And they
I
gave
thought
him
it was-
more money than
Yeah, I
if
thought it
he
was
would have
cool.
sold
They
them
gave
regularly.
a generous royalty of what was it, $10 per board instead of 2. So
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, there's always been good stories related to Forrest, I think.
I love him.
I think it was interesting to hear what Jamie had to say, that it turned into a – I would like to quote him, but I don't want to misquote him. I believe he called the situation a nightmare. Did you remember that word, or am I making that up?
No, I think he did. Yeah, and I mean,
used
he
the word
kind of said
nightmare because-
he said that he knew, like they kind of knew what they were getting into with Forrest,
Yeah,
and
but
that they weren't expecting.
Yeah, the whole pretty much they asked Forrest, you need to film a video part and get a Thrasher interview. So obviously he needs to go out and shoot photos with people, and he was bailing on the session. It just wasn't working out. They just weren't. He wasn't meeting up with the photographers and the filmers. Too much of the same footage. I'm assuming he needed the VX footage because he said there was too much HD fisheye stuff that they didn't want to use, and so it didn't work out. They pulled the plug on it. It's cool that they're still cool with each other. That Jamie said that.
And he made it sound like Forrest is kind of a changed person from that point in his life too.
I've heard that a few times in the past. Not that I don't believe it.
I mean, yeah,
When he
I
was
was gonna
on King
say,
of the
I mean,
Road, he was
from-
pretty mild.
He definitely was on his best behavior on King of the Road, man.
But I mean, if you think about it, Forrest isn't like he's not out there doing insane stuff. Usually, it's usually just he says
What tray flip grinds on fucking round rails is not insane shit.
No. I don't mean his trick selection. I mean,
Oh, you mean like his
lifestyle.
lifestyle?
he's not. Yeah, he's not doing the craziest actions. It's just funny
Gotcha,
things that he
gotcha.
says, or maybe things that he doesn't do. Like he didn't meet up
Well,
with the
I mean,
Colbourn
like-
photographer.
The end of the interview
Right, but,
was
like,
my
here's-
favorite part. When they sorry, Mike,
Go
I
ahead,
totally
Mike.
interrupted
Go
you.
ahead, Mike.
Oh, you're fine. What I was gonna say was, what's crazy about it is the whole like, we knew about his like persona or like his attitude that he carries of just being like very nonchalant and very just like, into what he's into. He's gonna do what he wants to do, kind of thing. Like that's the vibe we already got. So for him to like link up with a dude who like Jamie, who we already know has this like drill sergeant type of mentality, like it's almost like we knew what we were getting. Like how is that not gonna conflict at some point?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I like.
Go ahead.
I wish he would just get on Toy, dude. Like that'd be sick.
I know if they put him on, that'd be rad.
Mm-hmm.
The board,
end of the interview-
what Jamie Thomas said about the boards was interesting to me. Very interesting. With Forrest's relationship with the team manager.
Yes, that's what
I could see the frustration building up.
Next time, send me
come
10.
from the team manager's point of view. Boards. That's gets a little
Next time-
impersonal.
Next time, send me 10.
I mean, obviously, I don't think Jamie's making this up, but obviously, this is Jamie saying this. We don't know if Forrest has a different point of view, but like Jamie said, Forrest seems to have changed his personality a little bit since then, which is good. Obviously, you can't question the talent. I mean, you're tray flip 50 and round rails with money in your hand, like you're on some other stuff if you're doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's not something anyone else is really doing. The fact that you even consider trying that down Hollywood is insane.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so who knows? It was a good interview though, and interesting.
I wish that he
I
would just
love
get on
Jenkum.
Toy. It seems like he's fitting over there really well.
I know.
But
I
it's
would- I
like
would
they
agree.
just put Axel on, so it's like I don't know. Are they would
Great move putting Axel on the team.
I understand that,
I
but
love
would
him.
would they have to start over with Forrest and do the whole Stevie Williams thing?
Wait, Axel is New Balance too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then in other Zero board graphic news, Mike, you know most about this, so you can go ahead.
Yeah,
take over.
this is like one of the coolest stories for me of the entire week is that a local board shop in Illinois called Yeah Board Shop. Today they posted a photo of the board graphic that was supposed to be Marissa Del Santos pro model, and like I don't know, cause like being from here, And like growing up where I did, like Marissa was always like the biggest name at the time. It was like Josh Harmony and Marissa. Like those were the people that like got, you know, the love from like this area. You know what I mean? So it's like we all heard the rumors. Like after Strange World, we all like from like just being in the same circle with her and shit like that. Like we always heard about like, oh yeah, dude, Jamie's turning her pro. Like she's going pro for Zero. She's like gonna be the first girl that's like on a big sponsor to go pro for a big sponsor and all this shit. And then like when she left, it just kind of like all just it almost was like she was on one day and just off the next. Like just as far as like coverage of her and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, obviously, I've seen her parts. I've seen her Strange World part. But did anything ever come out of like what happened with Zero and her?
Dude, like she was just the same stuff, man. She was just not down to go out on these missions. Like she explained it. I know that like she's friends with a lot. Like she's close friends with one of my close friends, and I know that she told him this really gnarly story of like she first moved out to Cali or whatever, started working at Black Box so she could also have like a paycheck as well as like her you know, being AM for Zero and everything. So she worked in the Black Box warehouse for a while, which is sick. That's super cool that Jamie did that. But what like she told him a story about how like when she first few days being in California, like not knowing shit, not knowing, you know, like how to react to things or whatever. I guess that like Jamie picked her up, picked up Cole, picked up a filmer, and then they went to like a fucking 15 stare or something, and he says, "Get a trick."
Oh. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, like, and she said that like he would like get a little like, I don't know, like I don't want to like sit here and say like he said she said shit, you know, but it's like I don't know. I've heard stories about him being like, you need to get this trick, or you know what I mean, you're not coming on the next trip or stuff like that.
Oh,
And
really?
it's just like
people for it. I mean, I feel like that. I'm sure that happens all the time, but I feel like that's kind of like if you do this, I'll pay you for it. I don't know.
It's interesting. So
Who
I
does she
take it.
ride for now? Like, does she have a board now? Is it with Hoopla or Meow or what is her? Do we know?
Mike, you somehow have two images on here, and there's really bad feedback. Mike, if you could you go ahead and refresh? Yeah, so that's pretty much both what we had to say about Zero. Mike might have a little more to say about Marissa when he comes back. We can talk about Populist was announced today.
Yeah. Actually, that was announced yesterday.
Oh, my bad, yesterday. On Tuesday. We can go ahead and talk about we'll talk about that. Angie, I mean, what do you think? I'll pull up the barracks right now and read off the 10 names that were nominated.
Can we see how many of them I can name without you reading them off?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Kyle Walker.
Do I still have two?
Yeah, but I don't hear feedback, so it doesn't matter.
Kyle Walker. Ashad.
Okay.
Evan.
Yep.
Alec.
Yep.
I should know more. There's more. Don Vanderlinden.
Dawn Vanderlinden.
Tiago was one.
Yeah, indeed.
You're
getting you know you've got a good amount.
So close. I think I can't. I got nothing.
All right, well I'll take it from there. There is also Miles Silvis.
Oh yeah.
Shane O'Neill, Justin Figueroa, and Dennis Buznitz.
Oh.
Bet you Tiago wins that.
I can tell you. Let's see. I can click here to vote. Let's see who's in the lead. Let's see who's in the lead right now. Thiago Lemos in first place.
There you go.
Oh yay!
He has 21.
That's Angie's dude. You love Tiago.
Him. I do. I've never talked to him personally, but just the stories I hear about him, he sounds like one of the most humble, kind people in the world of skateboarding.
I like these headshots they put of these dudes. It looks so.
What's the word again?
The marketing and the graphics for Populist are amazing.
Populist.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so the Barracks puts up a little over a minute of footage just saying kind of like what they did throughout the year. I thought it was funny. I watched this Shad one. and they listed Instagram as one of his things that he did this year, and because dude, he did have some gnarly Insta clips. I mean,
yeah, he did.
who doesn't? That's pro, but they showed some sick ones.
Wait,
and then-
Shane O'Neill just had that new NBD, right?
Oh,
I don't know if that
Jesus.
connects him to Populist or not, but
everything is in the Populist. It's in
Yeah,
2016.
Shane is the best skateboarder every year.
Let me see. I think they have him in. Yeah, Shane O'Neill's in. Okay, so well, it shows the top three right now. It's Tiago, Evan, and Shane. Personally, I voted for Kyle. But I think everyone.
Kyle who?
he'll get Trick of the Year too. You know he will.
I don't know. Will he? I feel like they might choose something weird. I mean, not weird, but not that.
I feel like
I feel like Trick of the Year in a way. It's. I mean, Kyle didn't like enter himself, but like it's sick if it's like a
nobody.
Yeah, if it was like an up and comer versus like a. But I mean, Kelly, that was sick. I thought that Kelly won.
Yeah, and I
But
like
anyway.
how they're using him like promoting it this year too. Like the commercials are really funny with him.
Yeah. So I mean, Populist. I don't know when the voting ends, but I mean, I'll get on there, voice your opinion because
It's very
you don't get to-
democratic.
you don't get to do that too much in skateboarding. Oh, they had Trans World Awards too. What's that? The Reader's Choice. That's a cool thing as well.
Mhm.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Ishad won that last year, right?
You don't like the Trans World Awards?
I'm just kidding. I actually think Trans World Awards are like the coolest thing about Trans
Yeah,
World
they're actually
nowadays.
pretty rad. I'm hyped for their new video. They were just on a trip. They had Bobby DeKaiser and Bobby
Who?
Morris out there.
Who?
Bobby
Bobby. Look at Bobby Morris right here repping this.
Bobby
Oh.
DeKaiser's live Instagram feeds are maybe like some of my most favorite things to watch.
Dude, I like this live Instagram thing. It's good.
Yeah,
You do?
I do too.
I like some of them. I'm really
yeah,
getting
it
kind
depends.
of bummed on the notification thing. Like, I don't
Yeah,
give a
that
fuck
can go
about
ahead
some
and
of these
go
people.
away. But if I'm
Oh,
like
I don't
at
get
night
that.
or something, and then I go on Instagram and like someone funny, like if someone funny is live on Instagram, I'm like, oh, I'll check it out.
What do you think about KB, Kevin Bradley, KB, just turning up all the time?
Yeah, I've watched one
His
of
are
his
literally of
recently.
just him just drinking beer.
Well,
and
probably
Hennessy.
some Henny, yeah.
That's all he does
I
is
love
drink
it.
beer and
I
Hennessy
love it.
and fucking talks to the people, and that's it.
I know there
But
was
it's like, why do people care about this? Like
the
the ones that are like,
always the
I'm
same.
live, I'm at the spot, who's all here, and like that's cool as fuck. I like seeing that. Like I don't really give a fuck about you smoking weed and drinking beer on camera. Like I really don't.
Well, and the questions are always the same. It's like, do you smoke weed? Do
What
you
size
prefer
board
stick
do you
to
ride?
ass?
I
Do
think
you-
that's
Yeah.
one thing I like about it is that like it's almost like certain dudes will go in there and they're gonna read the comments, so it's like they
Mhm.
can. It's like you. I mean, you could already do it in the comments, but no one's gonna take those dudes that have thousands, like all these comments on their posts. They're not gonna take the time to respond to all of them. But live on a video, and they can go in there for 5 minutes and answer all these questions. You can find out all these things.
Yeah.
that you otherwise
The
wouldn't know.
question's
That's rad. That's rad.
The question's like, do you get bitches?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
They did one, Jacob Messick and Trevor Colden at the barracks like a week ago. That was sick. They're like getting trick requests.
I
It
like
made me
when they
think.
do.
The second I saw that, I was like, I could definitely see the barracks somehow getting involved with like doing
Well,
this on their website some weird way.
The friendship is
What's it called?
always live. I don't know if you
Oh,
follow
really?
them. They're all
Yeah.
and theirs are usually pretty entertaining too. Like, and they're very
That's
good
cool.
about answering. But the problem
I-
is,
I'm sure
the problem
you're
for
gonna
me is like I can't ever answer questions because they're like, what is this old lady doing in here asking us questions? So it's a struggle.
I'm excited to see one like when a whole team's in a van. If they go live, like someone on the team goes live, and you could just ask dudes in the van, "What's up?" That'd be
That's
funny.
cool. See, like that's cool. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing that. Like I just don't care about the drinking and the smoking ones. It's like, okay. I can literally like hang out with my homies and see this shit. Like I don't
I
what I'm
just think
saying?
they're extremely bored. Like
All right,
I
well,
think these guys are just
let's-
so bored.
Do you think that there's an incentive from sponsors to go live? Because it seems like all of them started doing it at the same motherfucking time.
I think they're really just not as cool as people think they are.
I don't know, because social media incentives are in a lot of fucking contracts.
Yeah, and that's been talked about a lot lately too. But
Yeah, and with the addition of like the whole Snapchat story on Instagram, or like Instagram story is what I should call it, I guess. Like that is far more effective because just as an example, like I think it's like 300 people or something follow me on Snapchat, but I have like 1,200 on fucking Instagram. So it's like you do the math there as far as marketing strategy. You know what I mean?
But I don't always I don't spend a lot of time going all the way through my Instagram. Like there's so many on
I pick and
Instagram
choose
that I
on
don't-
Instagram
yeah.
stories for
And they
sure.
pop up like the people that you actually look at are always the first to
Yep,
Okay.
yeah. I pick and choose.
Let's talk about Elijah Burrell's Raw Files.
Fucked. Totally
I watched
fucked.
them right before we went live. As always, I love Raw Files.
You do? Okay,
I
all
thought
right.
something about it is I decided it's like, I think the best way to put it is like watching Raw Files is like the best way to feel like you were at the sesh. It's like you're in the streets.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing that I noticed about Elijah that's really cool is like, I feel like his video parts don't represent his skating as much as like seeing him on King of the Road, for example, and then seeing him as his Raw Files and things like really give you a good example for how badass this dude is. Like, especially just as an example, like the kickflip back 50 on that round rail. That fucker did it like 8 times, dude. Are you kidding me?
Wanted to hold on to it, yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, most skaters would have taken the first one and been stoked. Like, this fucker literally did it like 8 times in a row.
And
like, I don't know.
He got injured on King of the Road too, didn't he? And
yeah, because he was being stupid, not because of skating.
Oh, he stepped on glass or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't fucking go into water without socks on, dude, or without shoes on. Like, come on, man.
But he kept skating like for as long as he could through it. Then he finally.
He went straight to the hospital, and then he was wrapped up the whole rest of the time until the finale when he told fucking Clint to square up. That's hilarious. But no, like, I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Pretty Sweet or take anything away from Vans or anything away from this Vans part, let alone the propeller part. But like, just seeing his Raw Files or seeing him like behind the scenes, so to speak, I feel like is like a really cool way to see Elijah in the way that he like approaches spots, and like because he's one of those dudes that's like really, really, really well rounded. Like skates ledges, skates big ass rails, skates pools, does fucked up air tricks in tranny. Like he's not just like grinding ledges, you know what I mean, or grinding coping for that matter.
Yeah. I would say I loved everything about the Raw Files. The only thing I wish was in there was some attempts of the nose grind nollie flip out on that bump to bar.
Mm-hmm.
They put the make, but I would just love to see how that session.
Mm-hmm. I think that's everyone's favorite trick from that part so far.
Out to everyone. That trick was.
It's because the way he did it. It's like you literally couldn't have done it any better.
And the rail is tall too. You got up there.
Yeah. And he went into the little bump. Like he didn't skip the bump and go to flat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bucked. So I mean, I always love the Raw Files. I'm always happy when they come out.
I think the Vans ones are kind of the best ones.
Yeah, I mean those two, the K-Walks and the.
I like Baker's trash compactors too. Those are sick.
I like trash compactors are good. I really like this who else does Made it? Chapter 2.
Oh, May does it. Duh. Yeah. There's. Yeah, they win that discussion.
Yeah, the Jerry Sue one is just too good.
I mean, I like them. For me personally, the Made, or not the Made, the Stay Gold B-sides are just like the best thing ever. Just all around. Yeah, like I grew up with those ones. Those are just like.
Mike, you got anything you want to talk about? I know you want to talk about your dude, Kevin Braun.
Dude, I want to talk about Kevin Braun so bad. Dude's so fucking good, man. I guess that he was just out at Fargo the other day, and I wasn't even in town to fucking get there, so I'm kind of bummed on that. But I don't know. His video part was released on Santa Cruz's YouTube channel today, so if anyone wants to go check that out, youtube.com, Kevin Braun, go check it out. It's fucking amazing. He has the first part in that video, which is like really – I mean, it's cool as fuck because for him to be a part of this like new-faced Santa Cruz, you know, like this new, brand new rebuilding thing. Like they kept the 2 legends. They kept Dressen and they kept Jason Jesse, right? Yeah, they pretty much just wiped fucking clean and started over.
To an extent,
essentially, right? I mean, think about it. Asta, Kevin Braun, fucking Twist the Wrist. Like these are all dudes that like.
Still though, Tom Knox.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to diss. I'm just saying, like, it's cool.
But yeah, they have a bunch of younger dudes right now.
Yeah, and it's like for him to be the first part in this new like resurgence video, that's badass. I think that's super cool.
It's a good way to blow him up because I don't think he really has the recognition he deserves yet. And I think that video part backed with the Bangin they dropped today, which
that Bangin is insane. No, it was yesterday, but Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, it's always good when they set that up. They did the same thing with Alexis earlier this year. The Moffat video came out. They put his banging out, and then he gets a Trickopedia a little bit down the line. Just so you in a way you kind of get blasted with Kevin Braun footage.
Mhm. And they kind of gave us a little bit of him when they did the little like how I got sponsored, but they only gave him a minute long one. Like they didn't let him do the how I got sponsored like they let the other guys do.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ended up watching that, but I did see it.
It's literally like a minute long. He talks about being from here, and then he talks about meeting Cannon and getting on Santa Cruz, and that's it. Like, there's so much more to it. You know what I mean? Like, he was hooked up from Enjoy. He was hooked up through America for a while. Like, there's so many things. And, like what the fuck? We had to listen to Trevor or which McClung was it? Trevor.
Yeah, I believe Trevor was on
we had to listen to Trevor McClung talk about the same sponsors he's still currently on for fucking 4 minutes. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know.
But, yeah. I mean, Kevin Braun is incredible. So I would definitely go give his part in his Bangin a look. I think that's all that we wrote down. So unless anyone has anything to add, Angie, Mike, anything?
Oh, hey, did you? I just bringing up Ryan Gallant again from last week. Did you see his Instagram post today? He posted about doing some slappies on some red
friendship boards.
Well, yeah, I mean he's writing friendship still, but can I look it up really quick and say what?
Yeah, go for it.
It was a really cool Instagram post. I liked it a lot.
I'm here. Let's see, Ryan Gallant. He said, "What started as something innocent, just a way to pass time with friends, is quickly becoming a full-blown addiction. I seriously dreamt about red curbs last night. Had to wake up and go smash into one for a bit." That's so epic.
Is so cool. And I mean, he is just like repping friendship so much too. Like I would say like his last 5 posts are friendship. Last 6 maybe? 5? Because that curbs one, like that's a friendship logo. Or graphic, yeah. So I don't know. I think we're gonna see Ryan Gallant go. I think we're gonna see him on friendship. I really do.
I thought we already talked about this.
We did talk about it last week a little bit.
Friendship has been straight up with the fact that while Ryan Gallant is in limbo of another sponsor, they're gonna hook him up.
No, they haven't said it that way.
Okay, I'm gonna read it to you right here. Ryan Gallant is in clips, right?
Wait.
Like, duh.
Hey, did you notice that Mike's gone?
I didn't, but now I do. Oh. He better come back. Yeah, they're just. I'm pretty sure they're just taking care of him while he's. For the moment, I don't think he's gonna be put on the team.
Well, I
think it's cool that they're backing him.
And I think that we should make a bet. Like, let's bet. We should make a bet about this.
Okay? What's the bet?
I don't know. What should we bet on?
Oh, we'll just.
Something.
Bet for the fun of it. We'll have to do this later. We can.
Okay.
Mike's back. Mike, tell me, you think Gallant's getting on friendship or they're just taking care of him?
What'd you say?
You think Ryan Gallant will be on friendship or do you think they're just hooking him up?
I feel like that's a strange fit. I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's getting on. I think he's just getting hooked up.
Were you here when I read their Instagram caption about it?
No.
You froze
during
that.
Yeah, this.
Oh, I did?
No, I did. This fucking my Wi-Fi.
You were frozen too. I didn't hear you.
Let me reread this. They posted a couple Ryan Gallant clips, and they said Ryan Gallant is in sponsorship limbo right now, but he is writing our board, so he might as well repost his clips, right? Like, duh, dude rules. So to me, they're being straight up with the fact that while he's looking for another board sponsor, they're just going to hook him up.
So, but why is he promoting their brand so much then?
Because they're backing.
Are they his friends?
No. Yeah, I don't think they were friends before this.
But now they're becoming friends.
They are becoming friends.
They're
going to have a friendship. It is growing. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, you guys just whatever. Think I'm an idiot. That's fine.
No one said that. Whoa.
but yeah, I mean.
Whoa.
Angie's sensitive.
Angie, don't go all sensitive.
Stop it! I'm not even sensitive. but I think that there's a good chance.
Okay. Well, I think this might be a good way to end the
Oh,
podcast.
stop it! No, you guys always make me out to be this overly sensitive person. No, I'm
you
not.
are sensitive.
I am not. Oh my god. No. So this is me. This is like everything. This is me. I'm over everything. No.
All right.
sensitivity.
Well, that's all the topics for today, folks. We will be back probably next Wednesday. And if you're trying to watch some skateboarding this
Probably.
weekend,
Is Drew gonna be
conditions-
live again next Wednesday?
hey,
Who's Drew?
you
Yeah,
gotta watch
Drew's
it. Hey,
dead.
watch the interruptions. Conditions Friday night. Get there. YouTube, or if you're in San Diego, come to the premiere.
Aw.
Drew, originally he said he'd be gone for 2 weeks, so if that stays true, he will be back next week. We'll have to see how that goes. There's no
He told me-
guarantees.
He told me he
We'll
died.
talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.